Welcome to 90 Day Fiance.
Three-way.
I've never been more excited for a season to be over with.
No, come on. Last season was terrible.
I don't know, man. This
is
one
good.
sucks.
Nope. I loved it. I loved
Nope.
it. Mike and
10
Ximena, 10 out of 10.
4 out of 10 entire season.
I loved it. I loved 10 out of
So,
10.
The worst.
Episode 15, Cold and Calculated. How's it going?
Go for the Mike and Ximena. Let's unpack all of the shenanigans.
You want to do Mike?
Let me
Ximena?
slap you first. Let me, for what you just said, that was a bad joke.
Let's do this.
Gonna have to slap you.
You wanna talk about the slap? We can talk about the slap first. Okay, let's talk about the slap.
Holy moly. But what about that slap though? What about that?
Man.
That was a full palm, all finger slap. That was a legit slap.
That's not a baby slap. That's a grown man slap.
Yeah.
That was a sucker slap.
It was.
I guess instead of a sucker
he cocked
punch.
his shoulder back. He cocked his shoulder back, open palm, firm face contact.
But he walked up like he was just gonna talk or maybe take the mic. That's why Chris Rock was like, oh, look, here comes Will Smith. He thought he was just gonna grab the mic and say, but he just walked up all chill and then like super fast, just wound up and pow.
Yeah,
that's messed up. Yeah, he was hiding it. That's super messed up.
Yeah,
that was a good time. Whose side are we on?
Chris Rock. I'm on Chris Rock 1,000%.
But I can see why he would be angry, but he should not have gone up there.
Why was he angry? He was laughing.
It was a poor example for a man who, if you ever watch his social media, likes to like preach about positivity.
Yeah.
And enlightenment and stuff. And it was an unenlightened response to a joke. Like he could have just gone up there, took the mic and be like, yo, that's not cool. But to resort to violence, it like undoes everything he's ever stood for in his life. And it's like it took one moment for all of us to just be like, wow, Will Smith is not cool.
Right? Not one moment. It totally destroyed my view of him. Like I do not like. I want to cancel him. Cancel culture him.
Yeah, I want to cancel culture Will Smith. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot, I think, to straight up cancel culture like Will Smith.
Well, I don't think that's really going to happen because he's like a beloved. That's why they didn't take him out. Like if he was anybody else other than Will Smith, I feel like they would have pulled him out, but they didn't.
Yeah, and they knew that he was going to get the best actor for the night. So
how terrible!
Yeah. And that's the other thing is like it took away from Questlove's award.
It did.
That was all anyone could talk about. And then even at his speech, it's like, dude, you're like, I was watching his speech and you're like, you're gross.
I know. That's exactly how I feel. Yes, looking at him.
Nobody believes what he says.
And what does he apologizes to the Academy but not too long ago, he was boycotting the Academy for, not giving enough representation. Now he slaps Chris Rock and he doesn't even apologize to him. He apologizes to the Academy and wishes that they will invite him back again. What the hell? Screw that.
He totally messed up the vibe of like every other award after that because it wasn't like their moment. It was like their moment like adjacent to the slap. You know what I mean? It was like before the slap and after the slap.
And after the slap. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's all anyone could talk about.
Exactly, yeah. And it was just that was like a career defining moment for him, right?
Yeah.
Like I've always like really liked Will Smith and I felt like there's nobody like him who does like his caliber of action and drama and comedy
and rom-com.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's
He's
nobody
like one
like
of our
him.
rom-com kings, man.
Yeah.
Now it's like it's so hard to watch him. Now.
He totally just like took away from all of that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh man, you just ruined everything.
Yeah.
For so many people.
I know. And he knew he was up for a best actor. He probably was told, dude, your chances of winning this is like 90%. And it's like, that's what you want. The year you won. You want it to be associated with this event. These are permanently linked.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. They are linked. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true. For like going against like Chris Rock not being, that's like saying not, what am I going to say? Saying that he shouldn't have said what he said, though. I will say that my whole thing is like, I have a theory that
Fake.
he was like messing with Jada and Will, like he knew what he was doing, right? Because they had a feud since 2016. So it wasn't just like a random like just picking people out from the crowd. I felt like he was like up there. He's like, I know you hate me. That's why I'm going to single you out, and there's nothing you could do about it. That's what I gotta think.
You know what? Chris Rock is a nobody. What has he done that we're like, you know what? Chris Rock is pretty good in the last like 7 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But we can list off every single accomplishment Will Smith has done in the last like 6 years alone, and all the great things he's done. I'm like, you picked a fight with Chris. He's a nobody. Now it's like he made him famous. Apparently, his most recent tour or concert or performance has sold out faster than any of his shows ever. Yeah,
good. I'm glad. He deserves that support.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel so bad for him.
Well,
but
that's what I mean. Do we really
know.
want to support someone who belittles another person who is publicly suffering from something that they're embarrassed about?
Yes, he's a comedian. Is this not anything new? Look at Ricky Gervais. Like this that joke was nothing. Like
it was an innocuous joke.
Yeah, yes, they always make jokes like this.
But I feel like
it was an innocuous joke.
I mean, if he didn't know, he probably didn't know. But if he did know, I feel like that's messed up.
He came out and said that he didn't know.
Oh, okay.
And also the week before, Jada, it's apparently like when she was shaving her head, said like, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of where I am. You know, I like to be bald. And she's like, you know, saying that it doesn't bother her and she's happy and all
you
of
know,
that.
She probably just said that like if she had to overcome a lot of things, but like it's one of those insecurity things where you say that you don't care about it anymore. But like I feel like something like that in that setting, like this is like American like royalty in the place where like looks matter the most, like the height of like where your looks matter the most, and to be singled out like about like your hair that you have a medical condition for that has been hurting you or like you've been insecure about. I feel like I can understand why you'd be bad.
But he wasn't like talking about her medical condition. He was just talking about her hair being shaved and being G.I. Jane. What's wrong with G.I. Jane? Like Demi Moore literally went bald.
There's
like
another
she shaved
thing
her head.
in the Black community about the importance of hair. Right? Like NDRE has a whole thing about like, I am not my hair.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, that's a sore topic for Jada.
And Chris Rock, I think he did come up with like a whole thing about Black women and hair.
He has a whole documentary.
Yeah, his whole documentary.
So it's like, you know, you're picking on a topic that is for the African American community is, you know, being policed at, you know, their jobs. So you can't wear your hair a certain way. You can't braid your hair. You can't do this. You can't do that. Like the appearances have been so linked to hair that why did you choose that specific topic? Of all the things that you knew that could hurt the most, you pick this one.
I suppose. But why do you think Will Smith was laughing at first then?
I think it's like a nervous laugh. Like
Will Smith being nervous?
No. It's like, you know, when someone makes a joke at your expense, like, you know, your first reaction is to like nervous laugh, but then you're like, take a minute, you're like, wait, that's not cool. You've never had that in your life?
Yes, I have. But I think that's a lot of those celebrities doing these things. They have the comedian there to poke fun. They even made fun of Leonardo DiCaprio and his girlfriends, right? They like they always have these jokes, always poking fun at them that are kind of like awkward laugh. That, you know, it's like making fun of them, but it's, you know, like, yes, it's not cool, but they have to kind of play along and smile. Like this is not, they act like this is the newest thing.
Yeah, but knowing that, like from Will Smith's perspective, like knowing that his wife has probably cried over this medical condition. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably like, I could see why he would be pissed. It probably was like a long journey for her to get over that issue, and then to be called out or to even bring attention to it at the Oscars in front of like millions and millions of people.
I guess, are we also living in a moment where anything you say is just immediately like enough ammo to cancel you?
I was like, for me, I don't know. I just maybe because it was just a total shocker. Didn't expect Will Smith to do something like that, to actually hit. And poor Chris Rock, like what you said, he's not much of a, big celebrity, A-list. And he got like assaulted in front of all these people. Okay, so your wife is hurting because of her hair. So now you're going to go up and like physically assault Chris Rock in front of everybody. He himself has been picked on. He's done interviews and stuff where he said he's always been picked on because he's the little guy and things like that. And, and hurt somebody else because your wife is hurting about her, even though she's, said that she's fine with it.
I guess we can say
humiliate someone else.
He shouldn't have hit him. He could have interrupted him, said his piece, done whatever. Like, you could just straight up say, like, bro, that's not cool. Like, go up there and be like, that's not cool. We shouldn't have said that. But I guess what we're trying to say here is the fact that he hit him was one so out of character, and it like undoes everything he's ever done in his life.
I was genuinely shocked.
Me too.
I was watching it live, and I was like, "What? What just happened?"
I seriously thought it was a skit. Like, this is a rehearsed skit. I love it. This is great. And then like it kept going, and I was like, "This is for real. They're for real doing this."
Yeah.
Why? That is.
We can talk about this all day.
I know. Okay. All right.
That's true. Okay.
I had strong feelings about it. I'm just so unwill right now. So not down for him. Do you think this is something people will forget and move on from? Or do you think this will always
this will be permanently attached to him, which I think he should. He should realize what he did.
Yeah,
I agree.
And he's going to be apologizing forever.
I hope so.
Good for him.
Yep. All right. I'm ready now.
Okay. Mike and Ximena. No slaps here.
Yeah. No slaps.
With words.
Just
only words. Use your words.
Words that hurt.
And they do hurt though. They do hurt too. Okay, so basically it's the continuation of after Mike can't handle it and he runs away. And then he goes back and then he begs her like if he can stay in the house. Right. And she's like, she definitely does not want him to stay in the house, but he just like keeps begging and begging. And she's okay, fine, you could stay in the house. And then they go back home. And then they just keep having these like back and forth exchanges. Right. So first thing is that Ximena is separate from Mike and she tells her sister everything. And then her sister is still trying to get Ximena to realize Mike is like a good guy. To just calm everything down, and then you realize from Ximena's perspective, like she can't. It's not worth it to her, the money, and she just can't be with him. Which is like, yeah, makes sense. Can't be with somebody, you just can't do it. You can't deal with it. Can't force yourself to be with somebody that you really just aren't into. So, I get it. And then Mike is like delusional and he just keeps trying.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He just keeps trying and trying and trying. And, at first, when they first broke up last episode, I was like, okay. I was like, no, I wasn't really on anybody's side. I was like, they just had like an adult arrangement, another arrangement is over. And Mike is like, he's letting go of all pretenses. And he's just like, okay, I want my stuff back. And he was like, fine, go ahead, take it back. Just like being adults about it. But then come to find out, Mike really believes that Ximena like owes him something or like belongs to him or was like using him. And it's like, no, I mean, you were giving her money and she was like she actually liked you, I think. but then she just, it's part of being in a relationship. You stop liking somebody, or like, something about them, you find out you're not attracted to them anymore. Exactly the whole reason of like moving in together, right? And that's what she found out. And then Mike just can't handle it. And it just shows like his immaturity. He's not like the fact that he's never been in a relationship. That's what I got from it. And then he just goes off the rails and starts insulting her, saying like, you go back to being an adult model, this and that. And it just breaks down. And like, he doesn't want to leave the house, which I guess, I mean, if you pay the rent, I guess you have a good argument for staying, but it's like, she don't love you.
No.
So why don't you leave?
No.
Oh,
But
why
you
are
don't
you
think
saying
so?
No. If she asks you to leave, even though you pay the rent, you leave.
Yeah,
I feel like
not your
you
house.
I feel
totally
like you
agree.
leave. Yeah, I agree,
Yeah, you
but
have
then it's
to
like,
leave. You
I
were a
mean,
guest in that house.
you could argue that he
No,
has
and
a right to stay.
that's the whole thing about like the balance of power in a lot of these
Right.
relationships. Now that the relationships are breaking down, like we saw this with Stephanie. It's like, with what money do you plan on paying with? It's like, yeah, they had a life before you. They're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I hated Mike so. Remember how we hated Ximena? We're like, oh man, she's terrible. Oh, what a terrible person. Look at
True
Mike. Oh
colors.
man.
Yeah. When you see the
Oh,
true
his.
colors of someone.
I was disgusted, just like with Will Smith. I was straight up.
Is
When
that
he
the
was.
task of tonight? Is like always link the stories to Will Smith.
Yes, yes. But what about that slap? Okay, I was just disgusted. Like seeing Mike, like when he starts, even when he was asking for his stuff back, and he was asking for his things back, and then later on when he starts cursing her out, I was like this is not a good look. You look. I don't know. I just lost all respect for him too. He lost all leverage.
Yeah, I mean, everything that we talked about last week that we thought were assumptions of like Ximena being an adult model, and
Right.
that Mike was paying for her company and was the one who said, I'm gonna save a hoe. Yeah, he was Captain Save a Hoe. And she
True.
didn't need a save. She didn't need a savior.
So, okay, this is what my problem is. You know how sometimes like a man can see the situation and be like, look, that woman was using him, using him for money. And even he feels like she was using him for money. But that's not the case, because he knew exactly what he was getting. He knew she was a webcam girl, like what she said. He said, I'll give you money, be my girlfriend, stop doing this. There you go. Like, why would you have to tell that person, I'll give you money, get out of it? He knew that it's like a money transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then she agrees, she gets off, he pays for everything. And then when she decides like, oh, I don't really care about your money. I tried being with you, but I can't, not even with your money. I need you to go. Then he starts crying and saying, oh, this was all about money. You used me. You're a calculated bitch. Like, wait, what? You knew it was all about, you were the one who was giving all the money. You knew she was about money. And now you're like acting shocked. He was just mad that his money couldn't keep her in line the way it was before. So that's why he was pissed off. The money didn't keep her in line. Oh man. And when he was crying, like she was like, leave. He's like, no, I have work tomorrow. You're stupid. She's
Boy, I dormir, ho.
I
Well,
have
yeah.
work tomorrow. I want to say goodbye to the kids. What are your thoughts on that? Saying goodbye to the kids?
No. When like the kid was like comforting Ximena, I was like, man, this is so toxic. I feel bad for the kid. Yeah.
They've seen the show before.
I think so. Yeah. But another thing, I was actually surprised with how calm Ximena was, because if it was me, oh no, I would not be that calm.
Yeah.
I would have started throwing shit. I would have, yes, I would have been so mad. Like, you don't want to leave my house with my kids here? Oh, hell no. hell no, I'm gonna take all this stuff that you said you bought me. I'm about to throw it all at you out this door right now. You can take all of it. Wouldn't you be
So
more angry?
like if he chose to stay or was trying to stay, like, or like when he's trying to
Yes.
say goodbye to the kids. I mean,
No, when he
it's
was
not
like
a
straight up, when she was straight up telling him to leave, and he was like, no. And she's like, leaving. He's like, no. Like, what?
yeah, of course. I mean, if it was just them, but the fact that her kids are there, it's like you gotta go, man. But about the kids, I don't know. I feel it's like a nice like intention, but like Jimena's the mom. She's the one who decides what's best for her kids. She don't want you there. You need to go.
I thought the sister was really mature.
I
Sure
agree.
was. He policed that fight like
I
a
feel like
seasoned
this is
veteran.
the sister and the sister and the mom have experience like being the voice of reason in Jimena's life. So that's why they know they got to stay calm because otherwise everything's gonna escalate. You know.
He was like even asking the sister, well, can I come back? Can I go? She's like, yes, yes. All right, but you need to go now, okay? Like, can I come back and say goodbye to you because you've been so nice to me? She's like, okay, yes. Okay, yes. All right, pack your stuff and go.
Must say, and with the power of editing, we believe that Mike was a good guy up until like 15 weeks later.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
But he's gross since day one, man.
He is gross.
She tried to
think
tell
it
us. She
is.
tried to tell us that he was gross.
She did.
No, I think what it is like grossness that grows from like being alone or lonely. Like he's on the path of like the red pill incel. That's the
Yes,
path
he
he's
is.
on.
Yes.
Oh, that all that shit
Definitely.
came out yesterday.
Yeah. And so it comes from a place of like hurt and sadness, but it's like it's
Do
become
you want to
like
define what the red pill incel is? Maybe people don't know.
okay, so the red pill incel movement is like it's like a backlash against woman empowerment. So like it's just a way of like a philosophy of thinking about like how men have now become more oppressed than women and that women women are
I'm sorry, I just have to roll my eyes as like people explain this.
yes, and then women are they've become too independent. And so like that's that's that whole like sort of mentality that's grown. It's like grown as a backlash to as women have gotten more rights, that's like the men out here have become
We've
a lot of them have
lost
become
rights.
yes.
Yeah, we've lost rights as women gain rights.
What about the incel? What's incel?
Incel stands for involuntary celibate. So these men who like seemingly can't get women, they start to blame women for all of their issues and they become really violent. And like there have been, incels that have killed women,
Really?
Yeah, so there's been multiple occasions where incels are like they've run their cars into crowds. There have been mass shootings. The one of like that was against Asian women. They said that there's also an association with like incel because it was like all women. The guy was like, I mean, but I feel like it was like an Asian thing. He was just saying that because he didn't want to get pinned on for like a hate crime. But yeah, so like that movement is born out of like sort of like being not mistreated, but like not having the right skills or the right coping mechanisms for being lonely and stuff. You know what I mean? And so even though you feel hurt, you feel like something is owed to you, you're coming from a place of like, you feel like you've been wronged, but you don't realize how like toxic like you're being. And so if you don't like sort of like learn how to heal those kinds of wounds or whatever, like you end up becoming super toxic and just doubling down on all of like the hurt that you felt. And it just becomes, 1,000 times worse for everybody around you.
Oh my God, that was a...
You applauding his explanation.
That was a great explanation. I'm gonna play that for my family members who might need to hear it. Okay, so as you were saying, Mike was going down that path.
I just feel like this is the path that he's on. It's coming from a place of like hurt, and that's the problem. Like he's so blind to his own toxicity. You know what I mean? So he thinks that he's the victim, and that's the issue.
Right. I mean, he probably does really love Ximena, and he got hurt, but that happens. In love, love, you get hurt sometimes. It hurts, and you just gotta cope with it and move on. But you can't just be saying it's all about money and as if you had no role, like no part in it whatsoever. He had a part. He played a role in this.
So you gotta get through that when you're like younger, feel those pains when you're young and you don't do like crazy stuff, but you feel it when you're like older. You might end up doing something crazy.
He was trying and nobody liked him.
That's true. Well, I mean, technology now, you could try. I feel like for these incels, like for the incels, I'm like, there's somebody for everybody. Okay. That's what I really believe that.
But maybe for those incels, they try to hit like above their level. Like for example, Mike, he's like Ximena is kind of maybe above his level.
His pay grade.
Look at even Jasmine and Gino though. Right. He was able to get Jasmine. It's like, it's even if somebody's above your level looks wise, it's why you got to work on your personality, work on yourself. Don't resort to like being an incel and like hitting women. It's not the women's fault. If even if you don't look good, you could get like a really great woman with your personality. So
but the red pill movement kind of teaches you to be the opposite of like a good person. They're like, okay, never buy flowers for a girl who's not your like girlfriend or something. She has to be your girlfriend. Otherwise, never buy dinner for somebody who's, if a woman says that she's not, she's not ready to sleep with you, then she's just playing games with you. Don't date her. Only date people who sleep with you right away, because that means they really like you.
Guys say this. This is so gross.
That means that they really like you. Don't believe them if they say they're a born again virgin. They're just trying to use you for what you've got and not want to give up their true treasure and gift, which is sex.
Well, they're trying to make those red pill, the guys who are on that path, like they're trying to, what is it called? Convert them, like make them feel good, like it's not their fault.
Yes.
And so
like they have like power.
Yeah. Plus that you'll pay for whatever services that these idiots will offer.
Yeah. What is it called? Radicalized. They're trying to get radicalized you.
Indoctrinate them in a particular belief.
Yes.
That women are bad, and if they don't like you, it's their fault, and they're bad people.
Yeah, like don't feel bad about yourself. It's not you. It's not you, incel involuntary.
Which is hilarious because the common denominator for all the women not liking you is not the women.
Right. It's you.
Introspection is important.
Yes, I do think that Mike is definitely on that warpath. I can see it, especially after this experience with Ximena. No good. You can't get somebody by force. He tried to with the money, and it didn't happen, and it sucks. It hurts.
Hey,
it's not true love.
You can even say that like you could be the richest person in the world, but a sugar baby won't stay with you forever.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he wasn't fulfilling. Oh, and then he's all like, "Oh, I think you started not liking me when I stopped paying for things." And it's like, well, she kind of explained it though. She's like, "Well, I just saw your personality though, and you were still paying my rent, and I still am not liking you." So it's not because of you're not paying things. It's because I see who you are, which is like a farting, disgusting dude. I don't like that.
Mike's defense.
You put your shoes in the laundry.
I mean, were they Allbirds? Because those are laundry safe.
Were they Rothy's? You can put those in the wash.
Yeah, there's many shoes you can put in the wash. So Ximena, let's like calm the fuck down.
Yeah, I agree. That one was a little too much. Come on, I just put my daughter's sneakers in the laundry today. Okay, perfectly fine.
Yeah, so he has a choice now. He can either go down the red pill or the blue pill. I hope he chooses the blue pill. I feel like with the 90-day thing, like,
Get
that'll
some girls
help
you
him
think?
out. Well, I feel like it'll help him out and like hopefully set him on a better path. He said he tried to change. So I feel like he can also like look at himself and try to change. So hopefully this doesn't jade his whole experience of like women and just like totally turn him off. Hopefully he'll be able to grow from this. But he
Fingers
reacted very
crossed.
badly in the moment.
Actually, I was watching this with my father, and my father was like, "Why doesn't she just, let him stay that night? He's gonna leave in the morning anyway. Just suck it up and just let him stay that night. Gonna leave." I
She
was
did
okay.
let him stay. It was all the stupid shit he said afterwards that she was like, "You gotta go."
He was just straight up insulting her, and that was
Yeah.
messed up. He's like, "Oh, what are you gonna
Yeah.
go back to adult? That
Yeah,
adult
that
thing?"
when he said that, I was like, "Yo, that's not cool, bro." Because all she said technically in like, polite, uh, I don't know, behavior. If the woman cancels an engagement, they're supposed to give you back the rings in
Mhm.
They
polite
don't even
society.
have to, but she was nice and she did it. Well, I mean, actually, they do have to. By
Yeah,
law.
you have
You're
to.
right. Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
if the man is the one who cancels, then you have to keep. You can keep the engagement ring.
Okay. Oh, right. So she was politely just giving back the ring.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. Which she did. She was just like, I don't want to keep them. They're not for me. This relationship technically is over. Why did he take offense to that? He just straight up broke up with you. Because I guess in his mind, he was like, there are things that I can do to win her back. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
everything in my power to win her back.
But how does it giving the stuff back and not caring about the money make her cold and calculated, or being like that she really was just using him for the money?
Right. I was about to ask you that too, because he's like, this just proves that you are really just using me for the money. Like, really? How?
It doesn't. He's a local person.
Because she's breaking up
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah, but anyway, I think what do we see for the next time? They yell at each other.
He calls her on WhatsApp.
He calls her, yeah, during the interview. Well, that could be nothing.
Oh. What do you think he's gonna do? Do you think Ximena's gonna try to patch it up so that he could keep sending money, or do you think she's gonna continue to say that it's done?
Well, we know now what happened.
Oh yeah. They broke up.
Yeah, they broke up.
Yeah,
Spoiler
isn't
alert.
she with a new man?
She got a new man. She got a new
She
man.
she got a
What
new
does he
So-
look like? Does he look like Cartel? What does he look like?
Probably a
he
hot
looked
Colombian.
better than Mike.
Did they have a picture?
Yeah, there's a photo.
Oh, okay, I'll have to look it up.
Can you look it
Yeah.
up right now? Pull it up for the class. Let's
let me
all get
see.
our personal reactions to this.
Yeah, she wasn't about the money, because if she was, she would have just stayed with him and like let him go back home and keep paying everything. But then she was probably scared as hell that he was going to come back and she was going to have sex with him again. And she's like, nah.
I think that's what she was scared of.
No,
I mean, she would
cannot do
this
it.
woman would have sex with a hitman before she has sex with Mike.
Me too. I would too. Heck yeah.
Yeah, the hitmen are probably super hot.
Yeah, and at least they're bad from the get. Mike,
Yeah, you didn't realize that he
know?
was bad until after you broke up
Yeah.
with him. That's so funny.
Okay. You want me to?
Share screen.
Okay. hold
Let's
on.
see.
All right, let's see. Let's all like make a sound together.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes, I'm down for this guy. Way better
Oh.
than Mike.
Oh.
Way
Oh.
better.
Hey, Ximena, you go, girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes,
mean,
way.
if Mike was a 3, this guy's like a 16.
Yeah. Definitely. He almost looks like he's like, like he could be a soccer player,
Yeah, that's what I thought
like
too.
He looks like
yeah.
he's wearing a soccer jersey, actually.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, like he looks like a soccer dude. Oh yeah, I'd no amount of money. Oh yeah, I'd ditch Mike so fast.
Yeah.
Heck
I don't know.
no.
You gotta
Yeah.
love someone even though they give you money, because you're gonna feel gross every night in bed.
Ew. Oh,
Can you
I'm just.
imagine
Oh
letting someone
man,
touch you that you hate?
it's just totally disgusting. Have the ick factor. She got the ick
Yeah,
factor.
she got the ick factor. I think when he
Mm.
farted on her, that's when she was like, "Oh God, what have I
Ugh.
done?"
And like seeing his desperation when he's just staring at her at night
Yeah,
and
I would
just like
also be
following her
really,
around everywhere like a puppy.
I would be put off by that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't like that, right, Dylan? You're not like,
No,
you
no,
need
I hate
space.
clingers. Great, you're telling me level 10 clinger next to
Yeah.
me? Mm-mm, pass. I'd be like Ximena so fast. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
see? Wouldn't it disgust you after a while?
It would disgust me on day 3.
All right.
I'd be like, "Hey, you kept staring at me last night. Don't do that again." And then they do it again the second night. You're like, "I told you don't do that." Then the third day, you're like, "You gotta go."
About like how about me? Like I'll probably be like Ximena and I'll like slowly start treating them like crap. Like every little thing. Like
Dude, he
Ximena.
was willing to take it though.
I know. Because he would like say something, oh, what a great time we're having. I have a better time with my kids.
Yeah, she was straight up like trying to belittle him at that point.
I'm the best thing. Don't you think I'm the best thing that will ever happen to you? No, my kids are the best thing that ever
That was a
happened to
good
me.
answer.
That
That's a good mom.
was.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
right.
That's it for them. What do you want to move on to?
Okay, we can do Gino and Jasmine. There wasn't like so much with them.
Yeah.
So Jasmine looks like she's moving into a new apartment because according to Gino, she had a problem with the roommate or something. So he's going to help pay for this apartment, but he's also very worried about the financial situation with it. And so Jasmine's like, you know what? You need to go get a job when you get back, even if it's at McDonald's to pay for my place, okay? Because we're together now. So then he calls his uncle, who's like his father figure, and the uncle mentions a prenup. And then Gino's like, oh man, I don't know if I should bring it up, but I want to do it in person. So they go out to dinner later in the night and he's about to bring it up. But then Jasmine beats him first to a problem. She's like, you know what, Gino? How long have you been divorced? He's like, 8 years. Well, you know what? I saw something and it bothers me a lot. Your ex-girlfriend has your last name. Dun, dun, dun.
Ex-wife.
Oh, sorry. Your ex-wife has your last name. Dun, dun, dun. Tell that bitch to take it off. That's my last name. Because her having your last name is like you guys are practically family. Okay. And I don't want you to be family with her. All our problems, even though I wanted to kill you and chop you up one moment, I love you. Next moment, I want to chop you up into little pieces. It's all because of your exes, not because of me exaggerating it and making them. Well, no. Okay. The first one, it was his problem. It's true. He shouldn't have sent the nudes. But this one, it's Jasmine showing her loca.
Yeah, I agree.
So do we hate her again?
I know.
I mean, with this, that's some super loca-ness right there. Does he have any control over that, right?
No, you
Oh, not really.
can't.
That's a legal thing.
And plus, like, if the ex-wife knows that Jasmine doesn't like it, she's gonna keep that name like indefinitely now.
Oh, I
No way
know.
she's gonna change it.
Especially since she hates Jasmine.
Exactly. So like there's nothing that Gina can do to win in this situation. Like he has no control. Like Jasmine is like it's one of those irrational things, like the wallpaper.
Mm, right, right.
I feel like this is borderline like delusional, like things that Gina has no control over. Like if the sun goes down, she'd be like, Gina, make the sun go up. Something like that.
Did your
Something
ex-girlfriend
crazy.
tell you to do that? That was your ex-girlfriend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I
Your
can't log into
ex-girlfriend.
Facebook. Facebook is broken. You broke Facebook.
You didn't want me to see you conversing with your ex-wife, so you
That's
shut
why you
down
broke it.
Facebook. Ah! Ah!
Sorry, guys. That was a personal joke.
Yeah, I do also agree that she's gonna want to keep that last name forever now. The ex-wife. No way is she giving it up.
He finds like the craziest things to be mad about, to be honest.
But her one redeeming quality is that, like, at least she kind of knows that she's being crazy.
Yeah, she did
acknowledges
say it.
That's not an excuse for being
It's
crazy.
true.
It's like, I know I'm crazy, Gino, but like, I don't know why. It's not a good excuse.
But on the next on, I think she apologizes, right?
Oh my God.
So
I don't
you
know if
know-
that's for that argument though.
I have a feeling that it gets a lot worse because the way she was crying and going, and Gino started crying. I had a feeling that argument probably super escalated.
Oh, he
Do
probably
you
talked
think
about the
he was
prenup.
like, yeah, hey, you know what? I feel like I just have to get a prenup. And then she was like, she just started crying.
Really? You think that that's what? No, because I feel like she would be angry about a prenup, not like
Maybe
more
because he
I
was
feel like
like, go ahead.
I feel like she probably went crazy and then she apologized. That's what she was saying sorry for in the next on.
crazy about the prenup or crazy about this
Crazy
whole
about the prenup.
last name.
Not about the prenup. You know, maybe she went crazy about the prenup, and then she was like apologizing. She said, "Oh, it's our last night together, and I brought up another argument or blah blah, blah something."
But she didn't bring it. But he would
Or
bring
like
it
she
up,
made an
right?
argument or something. You know.
I don't think it's about the prenup. I think they're still gonna be fighting about this
Last name.
last name thing.
What is his last name?
Something Italian.
Probably
It's something
something
like
that
Super
Mhm.
general. That
Exactly.
has.
I'm like, I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Maggiano.
Watch it be. Let me see.
De
Gino
Campo.
and Jasmine. Oh man, Palazzolo.
What is it?
Palazzolo.
Palazzo. Okay, maybe that's kind of unique.
But I'm sure there's other ones out there.
Yeah.
So is she gonna force all of them to change their last names?
Nobody can have it. It's my last name now, hoes.
Gino, did you date all of these people too?
Hey guys, I just clicked on this like screen rant link, and this is why Gino wants a prenup. His net worth is estimated to be $1 million.
Really? Because of his investments?
Yeah.
Well, he said that he has 650K in his investments.
No wonder he can pay for all that stuff, like even though he's not working.
Yeah, he was like making it rain all over Panama.
Wow, that's why we gotta get better at investing, you guys.
Well,
only
find a Gino. I just need
normal
a
people
Gino.
like us to get rich.
You're right. You're right.
Where can I find a sugar parent to just
Like
take care
Gino.
of me
Like
forever?
Gino.
Who's got 650K and is not insufferable like Mike?
Oh, I would.
Preferably like,
I would rather be poor than be with Mike.
yeah, grow.
That's gonna be hard because they're gonna be like, since they're rich, they're gonna be like thinking they could do whatever they want.
Who, Gino?
Yeah, if you find a sugar daddy.
Oh, that's why he was paying for some sugar babies at $250 an hour,
Oh, you could afford it.
because he can afford it. And he
I guess
doesn't
in
need that.
Michigan, if you're in California, that's nothing.
Yeah, they need like $1,000 minimum.
Oh yeah,
Inflation
I'm sure.
7%, guys. I wouldn't charge any less than like 1,500.
Yeah. Yes. that could be the business. You're a
Is
single
that what
man.
we should do that. You think so?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, let me sign up for cougarlife.com.
That's right.
Is that still a website? Is that a thing?
I don't know. It sounds like
I
it
don't
could be.
know.
If not, we can make it. We can make it
No,
one.
no, Cougar Life used to exist, and I
Oh,
swore to like my friends that I would like sign up for it. But like it says on the website that it was pretty explicit. The best guys that like make it on Cougar Life are like army guys, white guys, and Latin guys. And I'm like, none of those things.
You can pass for Latin. You can ask
Hardly.
Latin. All right. So yeah, the next song we just see her bawling and crying. And say, the last night I messed everything up. So and then even Gino starts crying. So things don't look great, but we know that they're gonna make it ultimately,
Yeah.
right?
They love each other.
Yeah.
True love.
Yes.
So true love looks like, you guys.
Oh man, that's some serious ups and downs.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's better to be alone.
Are you incel? Okay. That's it for them. Who else should we go to?
Yeah, the culminating stories. We're reaching the climax of the Ben and Mahogany saga.
Oh my, this is good. There was so many good stories. How could you say this was not a good episode?
This was a terrible story. You like the Ben and Mahogany story of like fraud?
I love this.
one.
I love this episode of it.
Oh man. Anyway, so Ben isn't giving up, even though he suffered like last week's public humiliation where Mahogany straight up like ditched him in a city 3 hours away from her hometown. And I guess like we were privy to this from last week's preview, as she agrees to come meet him one more time when he reached out towards the end of his trip. And hopefully that in their meetup he would explain his side of the story and she could see where it goes. So they meet up in the place that they first met while he was there, and Ben was pretty apologetic about his behavior. She accepts and agrees that she also wants to see where it goes because they have a connection, guys, that was ordained by the Lord.
Ay.
It's foretold.
It's foretold by the angels.
Yes.
There was a decree from
In
the
the
high
Bible.
heavens
Ephesians
that this was
chapter
preordained
6.
to happen. God put them together.
We can get through anything if God put us together.
Yeah,
We can
God
get
put
through
us
anything,
together.
baby.
We can't
Yes.
stand in the way of the Lord's will.
Okay, baby.
It's
So,
written. It's written in the
It
stars.
was written. And so, hey, if you guys need like advice for anyone listening out there, if you feel like your relationship has gotten stuck and you want your relationship to level up, tell your girlfriend of 2 months who you've only met like 2 weeks ago in person and have like conversed only through chat and like have a clear language barrier, tell them that you love them because it's a 100 guaranteed panty dropper and they will make out with you. And that's what Ben does. He totally does all of that. And Mahogany falls for it.
Oh, he
says,
love bombs.
you.
Mhm.
I love you, Mahogany. Even though like that's his truth. He said, this is my truth, babe. God put us together. Let no man put us under.
What God has put together, let no man separate.
He love bombs Mahogany. And here's the thing. She falls for it like every dumb 22-year-old does. She's like, he told me he loves me.
Do you think that's what happened? Because she was all. I feel like all of a sudden she turned on her telenovela and she's like, "Oh, this is a good scene. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm confuso. Oh, Ben, es muy confuso."
That's exactly what
That's
she
what I
sounds
thought,
like.
yeah.
Dude, that's
Oh,
exactly. I actually didn't
Benjamin.
think of that.
Benjamin,
Oh, Benjamin.
esto es muy confuso. And then he's all like,
Está
"Confuso?
loca.
Esto, yeah." He's confuso? Ay, confuso, loco.
I'm dying. I am dying over here.
And then the slow-mo kiss.
So they slow-mo kissed for, I don't know, guys. I was super uncomfortable watching an old man kiss a baby.
Yeah. true. It's exactly what it was.
Yeah, it was weird.
Confused baby.
I was confused.
She did not have her wits about her.
She didn't. She was confused. Yes, confused.
But I mean, she was the one who went in for it, don't you think?
Well, what happened there? I'm so confused. I'm confused.
You two are confused.
I think Ben was looking at her lips, I think, like, and he was getting closer. He's like confuso and looking at her lips and getting close, and then she kind of started picking up on it and looked at his lips, and then they got closer and made out. That's my take on it. What about you guys?
I saw that I played it a couple of times because I was muy confuso, and at first I was like, ew, gross. And then the second time I was like, girl, you went in for it. It was like that the kissing scene on Hitch where the guy goes in halfway and then she has to do the rest. That's exactly what happened. Too bad Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock.
No, can you believe that slap? I'm disgusted. That's how disgusted I was by this kiss. I wanted to slap that.
No, the rule is come 90 and then let her come 10.
Okay, that's what she did. So he did come a little bit more than she did, but she like did all the work. It seemed like she was the one who reached, because you could tell like, there's a clear height difference. So she was like reaching in. It was super obvious that she reached in.
Right. I do agree that she put in her 10%. I agree on that.
So, she was not that confuso because she went in for the 10.
And then she said that he was a good kisser.
I guess we like kissing old men.
She said for his age.
Oh, it's for an old man. Yeah. He's a good kisser for an old man. So what the hell else happened to this couple? They plan to meet one more time because Ben now says, let's start over, start fresh. We could do this, babe. So, they plan to meet for one more time on Ben's last day to make it for real. Spend time together. And classic Ben, his definition of starting over is to rehash everything they've ever fought about. So, he did not hesitate to basically bring up all of his trust issues with her and says like, it seems like you're hiding a lot of shit. Is that really what you want to do though on like the last day after you've just like gotten over this rough patch to like immediately instigate a fight?
Yeah, that wasn't the smartest. I mean, although I do think his questions were legitimate, but like you're already gonna leave. It's probably not the best timing. And anyway, it's like I'm like, does he really care about those things, or does he just really want to be with this really young 22-year-old? Does
God
he
ordained
care?
It be.
Right.
God said that he needs to be with this 20-year-old.
Yeah, so why ask any questions then and care about inconsistency?
Because
God wants you two to be together.
Yeah, he's doubting God's will.
You're right.
It's not him. He doesn't want it. He's compelled by the word of God.
So, immediately question God's will, because that's exactly what he did. He was just like, you know what? I love you. God put us together, but it seems like I shouldn't be able to trust you. Because you lied about your age and you lied about your face tuning and you wouldn't give me video chats and I thought you were a man. And she straight up like gets up and go. She's like, I gotta go. I think it was like part of it was she finally got called out for all the things that she did and was like super uncomfortable and was like, all right, I gotta go. This is weird.
Yeah. She didn't know what to do. She panicked. She's more confused.
Yeah, she's super confuso for like all the crazy shenanigans that she's done.
Right. Yeah. She was like, you know what? This telenovela has turned against me and I will not stand for being the villain. Okay. I am Talia.
She is Talia. She do feel like she's Talia.
Yeah, I am not the villain here.
Yeah, I couldn't even name you a famous Peruvian actress.
All right, so we have to do a Mexican. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
I am
Sorry,
Thalia.
Peruvians. We only know Talia. Wait, you watched telenovelas?
No, my aunts and stuff do, but I haven't. Although they have like a bunch of like different ones now, like one from I don't know, like Israel and all of these type that they dub over now. I was like, oh wow, look at this. Yeah.
You're pretty good, I gotta say.
Um. Yes, I guess she or like she wasn't that invested, and like when she got called out, she was like, I ain't trying to be no bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he said, you know, you also lied. It's not just me, but she turns it right back and says, you know, you're the top liar here. You've been hiding and deceiving things, and I gotta go.
She's like, mine was just about age, but yours was more profundo.
No, hers was also her face. Like, we actually, for like 3 weeks, girl, didn't know that you were actually really a woman. We thought you were a straight up like Peruvian man who was trying to troll. We were just as surprised that you were actually a person.
I wonder why she made out with him. I'm still wondering. I still don't understand why. Because every telenovela needed a kiss. Is that why?
Because she was confused. She
She
didn't know what to do.
Es loco.
It's loco.
It is. I agree.
We all think it's loco, girl.
So, what do you think is going to happen next episode?
Well, next week he tries to chase her down in the company car, and as he tries to get into the car, she tries to get out of it.
Yeah, that's so horrible. Like, give them her space. She doesn't want to be there, then you can't chase her down, just with cameras.
Yeah, he's looking like a real like super creep.
Okay, wait. There was this one scene. I'm probably nitpicking it, but I thought it made her look really weird, like a robot, like like that movie about with Nicole Kidman, like Housewife or something. What's that movie, guys?
Stepford Wives.
Stepford Wives, right? Where they sound like they're robots. When they were in the car and they were driving to Lima, and then he made some comment like, "Oh, I'm so excited to spend the day with you," and then it was like a close up look at her face, and it was like an odd smile that it was like a pause, and she was just looking straight, and then all of a sudden she smiled and said, "That's so sweet."
I know the one we were talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It felt so okay. How come you know it? Did it seem weird to you too? Like, oh,
It did seem it just seemed like she didn't know what to say, and she didn't want to say like "I love you" or something. That's what it felt like. She just didn't know what to say.
He did never say "I love you" back to him, so she doesn't believe God ordained this.
Only in text. If it's through text, it don't count.
So yeah, explain. Like, if I didn't say it in real life, I don't say it at all. Like, it doesn't count. Like, I might have written it, but like I didn't mean that. Everybody writes that. Like, yeah. I love you just like I love my shoes.
Right. Yes.
All right. Do we want to move on to Kim and Usman, KimBALLY?
Yeah. I don't really care about their storyline.
Yeah, there's really nothing like. There's really no fight between them. Yeah, it's just
wrap
like
it up.
Yeah, he doesn't. They're saying goodbye, and she's really sad, and she wants him to kiss her in public, but he doesn't want to, and so he doesn't. He like gives her a hug, gives her a high five, and she bounces. That's it.
Talk about next week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, next week we see that he talks to Zara.
Oh, what a skank. What a skank this Soja boy is.
A huge mistake. Again, he's muy confuso.
Oh, man. Everybody in this season is confuso.
How do you know it's a mistake?
I mean, what is he doing? Like, why is he talking to Zara again when he's like...
He's committed
trying to be with Kimberly.
He committed himself to KimBALLY.
Yeah.
That's true. He did make her a girlfriend.
Yeah. So... he needs to
you gotta practice
be
what
honest.
you preach. Exactly, because he was just like, you know what? We weren't official anyway. So like, why would I not talk to all the girls? But now that they're official, I'm gonna talk to other girls. What does that make
He's
him?
like
A
trying to be
dick?
modest. Yeah, he's trying to be modest and not kiss in public, but then he'll talk to Zara behind her back. It's like it's messed up.
Also, this is on TV, guys. Like, does he not know this is on TV? Like, they're recording this. We're gonna see it. KimBALLY's gonna see it. Is he an idiot?
Well,
Maybe.
he does say that he needs to get clarification. So do you think he's gonna be like, Zara, how do you spell your name? I need clarification.
Oh, you think this is a bait? You think we're getting baited
Yeah,
again?
baited. Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah, you're
something like that.
right. We're getting
How do
baited.
you spell your name? I need it for my album.
Why were there candle lights?
Oh, good question. Yeah. Well, you know, he still wants to look his best, you
Like,
know?
oh no, that was just a dinner setting, guys. I didn't plan this. Production planned this.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a bait.
Maybe it could
He's
be,
been baited many times.
don't they yell at each other on the tell-all? So there has to be something to yell at each other for.
They yell at each other. You've seen the tell-all preview?
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't seen it.
Me either.
Not like a general. Like I just felt like I saw something for them on the next time where they're like storming off or something. I could be wrong.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's it for them.
Okay, let's do Hamza
The
and
big
Memphis.
story.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So basically they go through the wedding ceremony. She doesn't know what's going on. They're like doing prayers. She doesn't know whether to copy it or not. She looks super lost. I'm like, oh man, it's just you could at least pretend because my goodness, you do not look good in this video right now, girl. In your wedding video, you look bad. You look like lost and confused. She was also that should have been the title of this episode.
Lost and
Confused.
confused.
Yes.
Wasn't it Dazed and Confused?
Sure, yes, that too. I think that lady was like a wedding planner. Do you think? Like the one who was doing everything, like her nails, her hair, like taking her to this location and that. I think they got like a wedding planner. Anyway, they go on their honeymoon too. They go around Tunisia and everything. Then they go to a hotel. And then we see Memphis saying that she has something to tell Hamza, but she doesn't know how he's going to react. He comes in all happy with breakfast. She sits him down and he says, "Are you okay, baby? Everything okay?" And she says, "Actually, I'm not okay. I haven't been feeling well. And I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant." He's like, "Me? Father? Yes, you father." He's like, "Go get the test." And she gets a test and he probably doesn't know what the heck it means. So she has to be like, "Look, 2 lines. 2 lines means pregnant. Oh, I'm so happy I'm father." And oh, they have like a hugging sweet moment and he's happy. What do you guys think?
Not goo.
Yeah.
For somebody who like
yeah.
preaches about responsibility, she's being very responsible in multiple ways. She's a hypocrite, basically. So I don't know. I just feel like it's not a good thing that what she's doing.
Why?
It's like for sure his, right? Is that true? Is that for sure his?
I know. I was thinking about that too.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit.
Was she like they did it exactly when she ovulated? That's crazy. How long was she gone for?
They did do it. I think that trip was 3 weeks. Wasn't her trip 3 weeks?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. He was like, it wasn't that long. He was
they
like,
did it
right at like they did it right then and there.
Yeah, they did do that.
Yeah, the first night they did it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
the
crazy.
First night.
Wow.
She knew that she was pregnant 3 weeks in.
She was fertile.
From that 3 minutes.
This lady crazy. She knew exactly. She was like, dude, I think I'm pregnant.
Wow. Like she must have known that that's like her ovulation time. She did say that they knew it was a possibility, that they weren't taking any precautions. They knew it was a possibility. And so I don't know if you would necessarily call her irresponsible because she kind of knew what she was getting into. And she said no.
And she for sure didn't do it with her husband when like he was staying with her that one time.
Right? I hope it really is his. I think it has to be, right? Because I think they're still together, aren't they?
For Hamza's sake, I really wish it was his.
Oh, I know. So okay, so then they go back home. They tell the sister and the mom, and they're really happy. And then the mom says that she's gonna forgive that indiscretion they did in the beginning of having relations before marriage because it's all worth it for for now,
Be a
the
grandma
happiness of the
now.
baby.
That beautiful woman's a grandma.
I know, and the beautiful sister is a auntie now.
What do you think of their wedding, though?
I thought it was fun and cute. The actual ceremony, I mean, we've never seen a Muslim wedding. I haven't, so that was educational.
Where is Andre from? Not Tunisia?
No, he's from
Moldova.
Andre?
Moldova, yeah.
Yeah. Andre. They're having another baby.
Oh, really?
Awesome.
Yeah.
All that working out, man.
I keep up with Andre.
You do? You love Andre?
I do.
I don't keep up with anybody from these seasons, from these episodes.
Well, I see it when I research other couples. That's why.
Yeah, I just know whatever Screen Rant shows me.
Same, yeah.
And I feel like the only bad thing about it is that he's not going to be there for the pregnancy. He seems so excited to be a father, and he won't be able to be there.
Yeah.
So that sucks. And then they're hoping that they'll speed up the process for his visa, but it probably won't happen. So I don't know. And that's it. I don't think there's a next on for them.
You know who we haven't heard from in a long time? It's Ella and Johnny. Prince Johnny. Asian Prince Johnny.
Right. Yeah. I have to say though, I am happy for them. I'm happy for Hamza. Poor Hamza. I'm happy for him.
I don't know. He's tied to Memphis forever.
I know.
Oh, no.
Wait, I was gonna ask you, is Memphis pigeon-toed?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Like where your feet?
He only has 3 toes.
Oh, no. No, pigeon-toed is when your feet point inward. What's the one where like your feet point out all the time? Because you know how she kind of waddles? Have you seen her like when she's walking? She's almost kind of waddling.
It was just because she got big thighs.
Oh, okay. I feel like her feet or her toes are pointing out or something. Anyway, sorry, it's just an observation.
I never noticed, actually.
That's it for them.
Okay.
So what's the next one? Is the next episode going to be Tell All? What is
It's
it?
gonna be the Tell All.
One more.
Oh, really?
No, we got one more episode of the closeout.
Ah, so
Closing
16,
out
that's a
these
lot.
stories. I know. I feel like this is the longest.
Well, actually, yeah, they actually end up being like about 17, 18 episodes, including the Tell All. So I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Like one more episode and 2 tell-alls.
And 2 Tell Alls, probably. Okay, so with that said, I just want to say thank you to everybody who gives a 5-star review. We really appreciate it. If you haven't left a review, please do so on whatever podcast app you use. It really helps us keep creating the podcast. And thank you, Dylan. Thank you, B. Anything else?
What about that slap, though? That slap.
I was going to say the same thing. Don't slap people unless they deserve it.
What about that slap?
All right.
Okay.
All right,
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.